It has been 6 months since Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, went missing. And right now, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information related to the case. Teams of investigators have been searching for Guthrie, including those from the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Now, a Wall Street Journal article titled "How Savannah Guthrie Lost Her Mother Nancy and Investigators Lost the Case" examines the alleged missteps made by law enforcement in this case. I want to bring in Wall Street Journal national affairs reporter Valerie Bauerlein, one of the authors of that article. Valerie, great to be with you. What do you find to be the most crucial missed opportunities in those first few days after Nancy Guthrie went missing?
Well, I think the most crucial missed opportunities were just not knowing what they had, right? If you show up, and in this case, they came to Nancy Guthrie's home, the deputies from the Pima County Sheriff's Office, at noon on a Sunday. And this is a suburb of Tucson. There are lots of retirees, tons and tons of hiking out there. A missing persons case is a common, almost daily occurrence. And they thought that what they had was an older woman, 84 years old in this case, who might have wandered off. And the family was saying, no, her mind is sharp as a tack. There are things here that are not normal in her home. But it was there was reluctance or kind of an initial thought that she had wandered off. And it took several hours to call in homicide and say this might be something different. This might be a violent case here. So that was a delay. But I think even more than that, the processing of the crime scene based on not thinking that this video that we've all seen that came several days later, the crime scene was processed fairly quickly. The house was turned back over to the Guthrie family on a day after she was reported missing. And there is, and law enforcement will say, gosh, I mean, in hindsight, we would have held things more closely and gone through the crime scene more specifically if we'd known exactly what this was.
So where is the FBI in all of this? We'll remember when the president pledged his support for the search and investigation, providing the FBI's support and all that. But where does their involvement stand now? I mean, we mentioned there's a $100,000 reward for information on all this, but we haven't really heard from Kash Patel at all in this case.
Not recently. There's a $100,000 reward, but the family has also offered a $1 million reward for information. So there's a significant amount of hope and investment in trying to see this case through to its conclusion. But no, you're right. President Trump did make a very specific statement that he wanted the FBI to provide all resources. And in fairness, they have been involved in the case from very early on, particularly in the handling of these ransom notes that the family and the FBI believe are legitimate, because they were digital communications. That's the FBI's jurisdiction. But after a flurry of activity in early mid-February with the video of the suspects coming out and dealing with these ransom notes, the FBI nationally has really kind of not said very much at all about this case, except starting in May, when Director Kash Patel went on a show, Sean Hannity show, and said he felt like the FBI had been improperly blocked out of the case, kept out of the loop of information, which the locals say is not true. So in terms of their involvement now, my understanding is they're very involved on the ground, right? The Tucson area FBI agents, and the national office is providing support. But Kash Patel, we requested an interview with the director and he declined. And they said simply in a statement, look, we're here to offer support. This is not our investigation. We offer our support throughout, even when it was requested late in the game.
What I found so fascinating about your article is you talked a lot about how there was a lot going on behind the scenes at Pima County Sheriff leading up to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Specifically, you wrote about how Pima County Sheriff Santos demoted certain officers because of their support for his rival political opponent. So what did the sheriff say in response to your reporting?
Sure. And, Sheriff Chris Nanos was reelected in November of 24. And our reporting showed that there were a significant number of people in the department who were reassigned, some in very specific and important roles, including in homicide, partly because they supported his challenger, who was an internal candidate. He has disputed some of our reporting, which we completely stand by. But he's also said, look, if the FBI is saying that we've boxed them out, Kash Patel should 100% call me because that's completely wrong. He also says that he's never spoken to Kash Patel. So I think what our reporting showed, I hope, is that it's not one reason that Nancy Guthrie is still missing 6 weeks into this, but there were some bad calls made early on that we talked about. There's some bad luck. They haven't gotten any big breaks in the case from the video or other clues. And there's some bad relations or some kind of mistrust across this multi-jurisdictional investigation. So I think there are multiple reasons, including that this kidnapping is just really rare and hard to solve.
And absolutely heartbreaking every time we talk about it.
It is heartbreaking.
Valerie Bauerlein, thank you so much.